Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jacob Bennett with Bulldog Analytics, and today I want to make a quick video discussing online certification programs for data analytics. Now, this seems to be a little bit of a contentious topic when you really dive in and read what's out there in blogs and online and different YouTube videos of people discussing it. At the end of the day, I just want to say up front that I'm 100% for data analytics certification programs. I think that they're a great way to introduce not only analysts or people that have worked in a business context, but also just college students or people in completely different industries like teachers or what have you, to a broad overview of what the world of data analytics looks like from a beginner perspective all the way up to being able to at least peek behind the curtain and see a more advanced perspective. So I am 100% for them. I've heard a lot of people out there who think that they're a waste of time and that you just need to go straight to learning Python or advanced SQL or machine learning or AI. And, honestly, as a data analyst, not to negate what I do, but most of my time is not spent doing those things. And so I think that these programs are great. I'm going to be presenting primarily from the perspective of the Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate, which is the one that I completed. Full disclosure, I spent almost a decade in business, building my career. I was in like an operations role. I was in a kind of sales and business analyst role. And then I also spent about 3 years in like an accounting finance role. And what's crazy is that I was so close. I was at an arm's length to learning and being exposed to the data analytics world, but it always eluded me. I never actually got to be exposed to all of these topics. I was living and breathing in Excel thinking that that was as great as it got. I was pushing Excel to the limits and building these massive flat files that crashed all the time. And as frustrating as it was pushing up against the limits of Excel, I think it was a really great experience because it allowed me to take a creative approach to using the tools that I had to accomplish the tasks or the requests that I received. And at the end of the day, there I go again with that phrase, but I love Excel, and I still think it's one of the most powerful analytics tools out there, and I think that it's always going to be a standard program across every organization. I don't think you're going to get rid of it anytime soon. But that being said, when I got into this certification program, I realized that there's so much more out there. Now, the way I got to this certification program was my whole career, I knew that I loved problem solving. I knew that I loved automating tasks whenever possible. For example, in Excel, I used VBA programming and I recorded, processes and used buttons probably way more than I ever should have done that. But I loved the process of automating, and I loved the process of creating efficiencies in problem solving, and I just couldn't figure out what job allowed me to really flex this muscle and to really lean into this. And I was actually watching a YouTube video one day and an ad popped up for the Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate, and I was like, wait a second, I think that this is what I want to do. And so without even thinking about it, I went and signed up on Coursera and started paying the monthly fee. They recommend that you take about 6 months to go through it so that you can really absorb all the content, and it might take a little less time, a little more time, but I was on board and it took me about 6 months. But I went through the process, and having been in an analyst role for almost a decade, my mind was blown. I was being exposed to things like data cleansing, data visualization, but not from an Excel standpoint. I was getting to look into things like Tableau and Power BI. This was the very first time I'd ever even heard of SQL, which is crazy, but it gave me a good footing and some introductory coursework into SQL, as well as some hands-on SQL exercises. Again, back to Excel, I was so used to building everything out of flat files and then writing these insanely complicated formulas. And when this certification program exposed me to the ETL process, into the data cleansing process, into data modeling using multiple tables to source your data, which can be done in Excel, by the way, and not necessarily putting everything in a flat file with a ton of redundant material. It just opened my eyes a lot to what data analytics meant and what was possible for a career in that field. Like I said, it exposed me to the basics like understanding databases, data warehouses, data cleansing, the ETL process, data visualization, problem solving in general, so on and so forth. But it also gives you a peek behind the curtain into more advanced topics like R programming and R Studio, which gives you the awareness of Python, and you can kind of start to compare those and see which one you prefer. All that being said, I think that these certifications not only expose you to this list of skills, but it also gives a ton of exercises to allow you to really start to learn it and practice it. And just going out on your own and watching YouTube videos, sometimes you don't get that. And it's very organized, and at the end of the day, you get a certification to hold and put on your LinkedIn, and it actually means something. There's some weight behind it, and it honestly helped me get my first data analytics job, and so I'm a huge proponent of it. One other thing I want to mention is that these certifications aren't going to make you fluent in all things data analytics. You know, I think I mentioned this up top, but a lot of data analytics content creators promote this idea that you have to know everything across the board to be a good, talented data analyst. And I don't think that's true. And regardless of that, my take with these certification programs is less getting a comprehensive understanding of all things data analytics, and more so giving you enough experience and maybe a portfolio on your resume so that you can get your foot in the door and actually learn on the job. Because at the end of the day, where you're going to really be honing in on your skill set is in a job, working alongside other data analysts, working for a data analyst, and doing tasks over time to really truly start ingraining a deep understanding of these concepts, and not just something that you can quickly learn by watching a video. That's really all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to get on here and kind of advocate for some of these online certification programs that I've benefited from, thousands of other people have benefited from. I'll list a couple of the ones that I know about and have heard really great things down in the description. You know, if you really enjoy automation, efficiency, numbers, maybe you're not a computer scientist or a computer engineer, but you're prone to more technical skill sets, then I think data analytics could be a great career for you, and I highly recommend one of these certification programs. That being said, hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later.